Hello and welcome to the Celtic Huddle podcast. I'm Mark Wilson. Today I'm joined by the Celtic legends Simon Donnelly and Frank McAvenny. Also delighted to say, for all you gamers out there, we have one of FIFA 21's best players in James Toland joining us today. He's from Cumbernauld and is fast becoming a YouTube sensation with his FIFA skills. You'll find out later why that's the case when you show you James in action, and he'll be in the studio with us. We're a brand new podcast, and every week we'll take you behind the scenes and in depth in all things Celtic. And I'm delighted to say once again the podcast is now sponsored by First Star Gin, Legends, First Class Transfers and Social Recluse. We thank them all for their continued support. So today, guys, we've got an absolute cracker. Seems weeks and weeks ago that we started this podcast and we've not had much to cheer about, but for once we have. We'll go through the quadruple treble win from Sunday. We'll discuss everything about the game. We'll discuss Scott Brown, Stephen Naismith and Andy Halliday and Neil McCann. Loads of contentious things to get through there. We'll look forward ahead to tomorrow's night vital league game against Ross County, and we'll also get the boys to tell us their favourite Christmas party nights out, so maybe that's worth staying tuned for at the end of the show. So right into it, the quadruple treble, guys. I mean, what an achievement that is. It's hard to believe that what these players have been through, how long it's taken them to achieve it. Will it ever be done again? But first and foremost, Simon, what a game it was. I mean, after seeing the first half, how on earth did it go the full way in extra time and penalties after seeing how comfortable Celtic were?
Incredible, Willow. Incredible. I think we went through every emotion on Sunday. Celtic looked as if they were out of sight at half time. Couple of great goals. Probably should have been 3-0 up. I think Edward had a really good chance. And as I say, I didn't see Hearts coming back at all. But the way things have been going for Celtic recently, Hearts get the goal at the start of the second half, and then I couldn't believe the momentum change. You know, and you could see the confidence actually getting out of Celtic quite quickly. And then the topsy-turvy extra time, get their noses in front again, pulled back again. And even the penalties at the end, I'd seen Macca on Twitter saying he didn't fancy us. And I must admit, you know, you just thought maybe it was Hearts' day, but managed to get over the line just.
What about it, Frank? I mean, Sid's right. See, when Celtic were 2-0 up and cruising, and I think if Hearts went another 5 minutes in that second half, Celtic would have cruised it without scoring. But as soon as they score, you did see the confidence just drain almost from the team.
Of course you did, but to be honest, at half time I thought how many it's going to be. I thought the confidence would have been so high that they would have come out and scored maybe another 2 or 3. That's what I thought. And it was like, as Sid said, it was like a switch. Once they scored, it was like, you can tell.
Incredible.
It was just incredible.
Yeah.
It was incredible, the difference. How just, as if none of them wanted to do anything after that.
Yeah.
They were scared to do anything. And that's wrong for a team to be like that. I mean, the confidence must be shot, but 2-0 up, you're thinking, this is great.
Yeah.
We can start playing a bit and get a bit of confidence, score some more goals. It just didn't happen. But credit to Hearts. I mean, you've got to give credit to them fighting back like that. But, you know, we don't do ourselves any favours, do we? I mean,
no, but look, cup finals are there, obviously, to be won. And usually they're quite unique because you can play any way. You can play awful at the end of May, the last game of the season, and win the cup, and you're celebrated as a hero. Yeah. But because this is different and what's went on beforehand with Celtic, they've won the cup, but there's still sections going, it wasn't good enough, and this, that, and the next thing. Is that unfair? And should this game be taken in isolation, or should fans be...
We were speaking about it a couple of weeks ago, and we were saying no matter what team Lenny picked, he was going to get it.
But what do you think about the team on that point? Was it the right team? Because there was a few surprises. You've got the goalkeeper for one. You've got the other debate was Brown or Sorrow. Christie came in. I mean, I think he justified his position. What do you think about the starting lineup? Was it the correct one?
It wouldn't have been. It done all right in the first half, I thought. You know, but I mean, Christie's.
Would it have been your starting lineup? No. Who would you have changed?
Well, Frimpong, was he fit? Was he?
Well, he came on, didn't he, at a crucial stage of the game?
Yeah. Was he fit enough to play the game? I mean, I wouldn't have changed much the last 2 games. I mean, I know Scott was coming in. I thought Scott would have come in, but I wouldn't have changed any much more because when Ryan's playing, he comes in. He's not a winger, and so the width getting took away when he's playing. he came in and scored a great goal, which is brilliant, but you still need somebody to go by him. And, you know, and Big Ayer's all right, but he's no Frank Bum when you get it, but it's as if nobody can pass.
But surely Christie justifies his selection by putting in the top bin. Then he got did he get an assist for the third goal off the corner
I'm not saying
kick?
that, but I wouldn't, you know, I just think Celtic lose a wee bit when, you know, it's no Ryan's fault. He's not a winger. I'm not having to go at him. I'm just thinking when he's there, he comes in, Elyounoussi comes in, so there's no width, and I think Celtic sometimes need width, and that you asked me who I'd have started, not if he's justified. Of course, he's
you would have
justified.
you would have swapped Brown for Soro. You would have put Soro in. You would have put Frimpong for.
If
for
Soro
Christie.
wasn't playing, you know, Scott was all right. Scott done well in the first half. I thought he'd done the captains, and it was great to see. It was like a throwback. Him going at it with Halliday and going at it with Naismith. I thought it was brilliant. I thought that was like old days.
Yeah,
you know? And I thought, to be fair, the referee he put up with that quite well. And I thought, you know, well done. It's the first time I'd agree with
I think that's part of the game we're missing.
In today's game,
I love seeing it,
and I love seeing it as well. And the referee loved it as well because there was no need for red cards, and it was just.
You don't think so? I think Naismith should have been sent off.
Yeah,
personally.
For the stand, I thought it was clever. I thought it was clever.
I think he knew what he was doing.
He was lucky for the stand.
He knew exactly what he was doing, but he's clever. He was very clever, and but Scott got up and just laughed it off.
But I think Scott Brown, that's the games he thrives on. When he's playing against guys like Andy Halliday and Stephen Naismith, who are experienced, who are going to fight back with him, who can wind up. I thought it was brilliant watching it.
That's part of Bruni's makeup.
Yeah.
You know, I remember playing against him when he was at Hibs and he's younger. He was like that even back then. You know, he's matured obviously into Celtic captain, but as you say, they're the games he thrives on. To go back to the starting 11, you couldn't argue going off at half time that was the wrong team.
No.
You know, they blew Hearts away. It should have been more than 2-0 at half time. As Macca touched on there, you're fully expecting Celtic to go and win that 3 or 4. But the kind of concerning thing for me is the change when Hearts score in the 48th, 49th minute. Everything changes, and that's a wee concern. It'll be a concern for Lenny just now because obviously there's some important league games coming up now, and the confidence drains quite quickly from Celtic, and I think it's just the period that they're going through at the moment.
Well, listen, they've got to take confidence for actually getting the job done, and you wonder if that'll act as some sort of catalyst to eradicate some of this, you know, frailties. Look, onto something really positive and extraordinary. What about Edward's penalty? I mean, you guys as strikers, would yous have tried something like that in a cup final?
No.
Maybe not in a cup final. No. I did it down at Palmerston for St Johnstone.
Aye, did you?
Aye. But I think going.
And what, did you score?
I scored, aye.
Did you? I see, I'd put one out the bottle.
Back
the thing is, but see with a penalty, you're trying to score, right? Whatever way, you're not trying to miss. You're trying to score, whether it's a dink, whether it's a blast. You can miss, you know, you can put your foot through it and still blaze it over the bar. How many times have we seen that before? I've pulled things wide, you know, trying to be really accurate in the corner. I thought it was cute.
I thought it was very cute. I thought he's obviously Craig. He knows Craig, so he's obviously does his homework and who's taking the penalties and all that. And he'd have said it was going one way. He guessed the corner. He just think that it was unbelievable.
It was an exceptional piece of skill. I mean, I don't think I've seen a dink. A dink is good. You know, the height, the pace in it as well, because sometimes they miss it.
Over. Just
exact, unbelievable. But what about Craig Gordon's reaction then? What do you think of that?
Many times have you seen it though? I've seen it as a player in training and as a coach. Many times up at Dundee, you try to chip the keeper and it doesn't come off, and he's raging because you've tried to do it. It's a goalkeeper's thing. So he's annoyed with the way it's went in, but
he get booked for it. But I mean, he could have.
Did he get booked?
I think he got booked,
but he could have got sent off. The referee could have sent him off. But
a striker's job there in that position is to put the ball in the net, is whichever way he can. And if you can do it, if you've got the confidence and the skill and the ability to do it like he did, I think we would all do it. I know if I had that ability, I would do it. But Neil McCann's comments that it was disrespectful. I mean, that was out right away on Twitter and that. I mean, what would it be disrespectful if Craig Gordon saved the penalty? He's making Edward look stupid by saving a penalty in a cup final. He saved 2 or 3 chances for Edward. Yeah. Edward could have had a hat trick. Yeah. Is that disrespectful then to Edward for him saying it was nuts? That is football.
By the way, and it's what fans want to see. It's a bit of showboating, but it's. it came off. If it doesn't come off, you look like a fool.
Yeah.
But he's took that
And that's
chance.
the risk, guy. That's the risk he's taking in a cup final.
You know, and
Yeah.
I think it was magnificent. And listen, Neil McCann would have said, you know, if it had been somebody in the blue, he'd have said that was brilliant.
Exactly. That's the thing. Yeah. I mean, the Rangers fans and some Rangers pundits would have been saying it unbelievable and we're great this season if that was him. But Edward, got to take your hat off to him.
Yes.
But look, how pleased we you both for Neil Lennon and Scott Brown finally lifting the trophy,
Brilliant.
because the pressure has been building not just on Lenny but on Scott Brown, because there was a lot, maybe even the majority of people I'd heard from who would say leave him out for sorrow.
Yeah.
Me personally, I thought he did very well on Sunday. I thought he played a major part in getting the Griffiths goal as well. He attacked the ball like a centre half.
Yeah, you're right.
I thought he justified his selection. Pleased for them.
Delighted for them.
Pleased for them.
Absolutely delighted for them, because the pressure's huge. They've had to sit on this one with the Scottish Cup, obviously with the pandemic. Had to wait to December. We're now in a new campaign. They've negotiated the semi-final, and as you touched on earlier on, see, cup finals, that's all you remember. I lost one against Wraith Rovers. I won a horrible one against Airdrie. You sell the 2 late goals in 88. You just remember the wins.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how you get there. So well done to them.
Well, look, I mean, the team's always a contentious thing just now. I mean, everybody's got an opinion on the starting 11, and that kind of shows you where Celtic are this season. But even after the cup final, look, we've got one here from Alex Burrow saying Griff should have been on at half time. Now, I mean, I'm in the Griffiths camp here. I think every time I've seen Griffiths, he's come on, he's buzzed about. More often than not, he gets a goal, puts in a set piece, an assist or something. But he very rarely features, and it's only when it's last chance saloon he seems to get flung on. Do you think he's worth a start?
Some of the supporters are saying he's not fit and all that. It's just because Lenny said he's not fit. But to get fit, we all know you can get fit, but then there's match fitness, and he's got to play games to get match fitness. I think there's no way he's not fit. He's a professional footballer, but there's a difference between going and running and getting fit in a training field to what it is.
Yeah.
You know, in a game. And I think Griff needs time. I think he needs games. I really do think he needs games, because he's the best finisher at the club.
Oh, without a doubt. He's instinctive. Mark at Brian here, when Hearts went to 3-5-2, we should have done it on the 60th and got Griff and Mikey Johnson on. You know, it's a good point. I mean, Mikey Johnson, good to see him back in the fold.
Yeah. A bit of trickery, but
I thought you seen, see as soon as he came on, Frank, and he got the ball on the left-hand side, instantly he tries to square people up and go by people.
This is what I'm talking about with Ellen Ishing and Christie. The two of them come in, whereas Mickey just went straight down the line, and I thought, you know, it's what they need when you try to unlock defences, and he's got a wee bit of trick, he's got a wee bit about him. But I like Griff because he sits in the shoulder of the last defender all the time.
Yeah.
And he's so clever at doing that.
Well, that's the thing. Mark Burrow, not Alex Burrow there, says unfit or not, he's our best goal scorer.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of Celtic fans do think that. And did you hear Neil Lennon? His after-match comments about him, just saying he says he's a bit of a rascal. He's not as fit as he could be, but he's an ultimate goal scorer or something along those lines. See, when your team's struggling, you would use your ultimate goal scorer more often than not.
How can you not have him fit? How can you manage he's not fit? I mean, Lenny, I stuck up for Lenny a lot, but that's down to you to get him fit.
It's done to Griffiths as well, though.
But sure, you're a manager, you're going, you're in training. What are they doing at training then?
It's maybe what they're doing away for training. You know,
I was the worst. I was the worst. When you're talking about away for training, I was the worst. But
listen, for me,
ever says I was the fit.
There's no argument.
You know,
for me, Griffiths is in my starting 11 every week. But again, I don't work there, and you don't know what's going on. You don't know the other side of it. But he's an out-and-out goal scorer. He's an absolute threat when he's on the park, and he pops up with. It should have been the winning goal. You know, just in about the 6-yard box. He's deadly inside that box.
And a point here just at the bottom from David McKendrick, actually. Griff's retort, very high level stuff there for David. Griff's retort to Lennon's comment show a wee conflict of opinion. Griff said he is physically fit but needs to be on the pitch. Actually, I did hear Griff say that as well. So
he needs match. There's a big difference between running and getting fit and being match fit. We'll do it pre-season. We'll run as much as you want, but see when it comes to games, you're breathing out your backside. So it's one of them. You need that game
Yeah.
Game time.
Well, listen, it was unbelievable. Honestly, it was one of the best cup finals I can remember seeing. Just the emotions high and low. But well done to Neil Lennon and Celtic for what is a truly remarkable achievement.
Never going to happen again.
No, never. But I mean, think of the great teams that you played in and you said as well that you didn't even get close to.
12 trophies on the bounce. It won't be repeated.
To try to get one treble, that was my point on Sunday. To try to get one treble.
Yeah.
Is incredible. The amount of games you need to put in, the amount of work you need to, and no off days. To do it 4 times, unbelievable. So hats off to the guys and well done. On to tomorrow night though, Ross County, must win game again. But again, the same questions will come up. Even though celebrating the Scottish Cup win on Sunday, the team will be a contentious one again for the fans. Frank, where do you stand on the goalkeeping situation? Conor Hazard came in, only his 3rd professional game, turned out the hero in the penalty shootout, but would Celtic have been in that position had it not been for some of his errors previously? Does he play tomorrow night?
I don't know. It's a hard one for Neil because, as you say, a couple of times he could have saved what the header I thought he should have got to.
The first goal?
Yeah.
Boys' goal?
Aye, I thought it was too close to him for me. That's what good keepers, they save him. Great keepers save him. And he's only young, but that's why I didn't fancy him in the shootout, because Craig Gordon's so experienced and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Who's he going to bring back in? I mean, none of the 3 of them are full of confidence, are they?
I know.
So,
if you're being in Barcas and you've been left out in a cup final,
aye,
you are low right now.
I think the other way. I think the other way with Hazard, although the 3rd goal you could maybe point the finger at him, he's came out the other side of it saving 2 penalties.
Yes.
So he must be high. He'll be buzzing. He's effectively gave Celtic the chance to go and win the cup. So I wouldn't like to see too much chopping and changing. I would like to get some kind of steady, whether it's a back 4 and a same keeper, and go and try and build on it.
The biggest thing I hear people talking about the other mob and their back 4, and everyone knows who they are, who their back 4 are, but everyone knows who it is. We don't know who Celtic's back 4 or back 5. We don't know who they're going to play, which is, and it's now at Christmas, and it's like,
I think
we've got that sorted.
As harsh as it is to say, I know he's a young boy and he was a hero. I just thought from the start he looked a bit out his depth. I thought the one he rushed out and he got done with Naismith. I thought there was another 1 or 2 in the first half, and then the second half.
The one he came out for the boy, came out like a centre half.
The 3rd goal. I couldn't understand that for a goalkeeper. He didn't raise his arms and he pulled his arms away. Yeah. So, I mean, what a roller coaster of a day it was for him. But he turns out the hero, and whatever he does in the rest of his career, he'll have that medal. And it'll be an interesting one to see if Neil says, you know what, I'm going to stick to my guns here. I'm going to put him back in. If he doesn't, then who do you refer to? Do you refer to Bain, who's sat in the stand? No doubt he'll have the petted lip. I know I would anyway. If I was left out of the squad totally. And Barcas, well, I mean, who knows?
He seemed to be enjoying himself. He was on the pitch and he was all smiles, so he's delighted he's won something.
Yeah, well.
So,
all right, well, I mean, talking away to the goalkeeper then, go 1 up. Defensively, what we're talking about, because going last week, it looked more solid, didn't it? It looked better with Ayer at the back, and it looked better with Taylor in. Your 2 centre-halves, Julian Duffy, looked all right against Kelly. But then, same old mistakes again, was it, on Sunday?
I'm going to be honest with you, it's every free kick, we get stupid free kicks away as well.
Yeah.
And it's their Achilles heel. Every time, I don't get it how we've got 3 6'4", 6'5" defenders, and they can't go and win a ball. I don't get that, man. You were a defender. You were a defender. Why can't you just go and win? Are they doing zono? Are they doing half and half? I don't know. Just go and win the ball.
The set pieces
one of you take command.
Are worrying, aren't they?
It's a concern every time at the moment when I watch Celtic, and particularly at the weekend, giving away soft free kicks. I think it was Christie gives the one away for the 3rd goal for Hearts, and you're holding your breath watching the set plays coming in, just because for whatever reason they're not dealing with them at the moment. Really, really poor.
You can see the lack of confidence. But just on that, I mean, we're chatting about the goalkeeper here. Chris Fraser says, I would stick with Conor Hazard. That's kind of echoed with Paul Sharvin underneath it. Lenny has to keep faith in Hazard. It's a no-brainer. Well, I mean, I don't know if it's a no-brainer when you're conceding 3 soft goals. I know they're not all Conor Hazard's fault, but it's still a headache that Lenny would prefer not to have at this moment in time. Look, Shane Duffy, I mean, he's come back in the team, Shane, and I mean, at times he's looked okay. He scored the other week there, but on Sunday again, I mean, for the goal, Boyce comes off him pretty easily for the first goal. He played his part in that calamity where him and Julian, I'll get it, and they run into each other, and that could have cost fatal.
On you go, Claude.
The most alarming one for me was right at the end of the game, where it's 2-2 in the 91st minute, and he charges out, and I think it was Ollie Lee runs off the back of him into the wide area, and it's the one that gets squared, and the boy should score. Ayer does very well to put him off. But when you look at it from a different position, I do not know for the life of me what Shane Duffy's thinking there, coming away out and leaving a big hole, and it could have proved costly. What do we think? Is Celtic better sticking by him and letting him ride this storm that keeps going on and on and on, or do they cut their losses in January and send him back and maybe get somebody else in?
I would send him back.
Send him back?
Aye.
Yeah, Sid?
I think he's struggled. I think the last couple of games showed he scored a fantastic header, and you're thinking, right, kick on. But again, there's wee bits there when the tide turns at the weekend, these mistakes surface again. The one with Julian, I couldn't believe what I was watching at the time. And the Hearts lad almost goes in and scores. That would potentially have been the winner for Hearts. So, I would maybe cut my losses and look to strengthen there again.
You've got to think that the recruitment side of it have been looking at one, a goalkeeper, and 2, a centre half, on the mind that they might just say to Duffy, look, it's not working, for your wages we can get somebody else in.
They've spent 35 million. You can blame everybody because it's a manager. There's no way Lenny's bought half of the players.
No.
So you've got to talk to Boy Hammond. I don't know if he's not seen them. So maybe somebody sent him a DVD. Because you never get a bad DVD. So
no, that was brilliant.
It's always great. So he's been saying, what a player he is.
Aye.
Of course he is.
That's how I done you, Sid, wasn't it? I done the United, sent you the old DVD for my first year at Celtic, 10 year previous.
You know what I mean?
I know.
Somebody, you can talk about the board, you talk about Lenny, but Lenny's not saying, you're talking about the centre halves, you're talking about goalkeepers, you're talking about, Ayeti. I mean, listen, 5 million for. Who would have thought? Because Peter must be thinking, right? Okay, is he going to make his money? He must have been saying, Hammond must say he'll make his money.
But that's what it's all about. Signing players for a resale value, isn't it? That's where Celtic are at.
But how can you do that with
players that are on the plane? So the game tomorrow night, I mean, played Ross County not long ago. Different manager then, and Ross County were awful leading into that. They were beat against Kelly with 10 men, but came to Celtic Park, were comfortable. Your old mate John Hughes got the job. What we're thinking, dangerous opponent?
I think every opponent is dangerous at the moment. I think obviously a new manager getting into a club, you sometimes get a wee bounce back on a result or two. But Celtic, again, see if you'd left the game at half time on Sunday, you'd have been Celtic going to kick on now. It's just watching the kind of response to conceding a goal. So I think every game at the moment is going to be difficult for Celtic. They have to. I mean, every game obviously is difficult, but there's so much pressure on them, and they really need to be at the top of their game to go and win this one tomorrow. And as you said earlier on, they need to win every game through to January the 2nd to apply any sort of pressure. They have to win every game.
That's it, Frank. They need to win all these 4 games.
I think so.
In the lead up.
I think it's different. I mean, I look at different sections of the Celtic team. And me as a striker, I want to score goals, or I want to do well for the team. Keeper wants to save, make great saves. Centre half lives and breathes by going and winning balls in the end, and it looks as if these boys don't want to win it in there. They don't want to go and challenge. And I'm going, why are they centre half? So you've got to sort of. For me, I think if you sort the defence out, the rest of the team will take care of itself. I really do believe that because they're all over the place at the moment.
This period's crucial though.
Yeah.
You won 4 games, even including the one at Ibrox.
Yeah.
You won that. I mean, the league title's well back on. Surely.
People say a draw can do it. A draw isn't good to us.
At Ibrox?
No chance.
I still think Celtic have got the players and the ability to go and win Ibrox.
I think what Mac is saying there though is, see if we can shore up the defence. that builds confidence for the rest of the team. At the moment, Celtic are leaking goals, and you can say whatever you want. That affects the rest of the team as well. Mm-hmm. Here we've conceded again. You could see it on Sunday. They rally round, they get the 3-2 ahead, and then they concede again. You can't be conceding 2-3 goals every game.
Yeah, well, yeah, leads on to a good point. Mark O'Brien here says the keepers aren't getting protection from two experienced centre halves as well. How many times did we protect the goalie in Martin and Neil teams? Well, that's a good point. I mean, you had Martin and Neil teams, you had Big Johan, you had Bobo, who else you have, Valhara, big guys who, I know, I played against them at Dundee United. I mean, they were fearful to play against. Yeah. And you're right, the goalkeepers you wouldn't say were world beaters. No offence to Big Rob before I bump into him somewhere, but they weren't the world beaters. That group of goalkeepers was Brotto in that one as well, and who else did we have? Magnus Hedman as well. No world beaters, but they still managed to defend.
It's the same as when I played. Packy wasn't the one coming out and grabbing the ball and going through people.
Same Packy wasn't as good as it's been made it.
No. Well, he wasn't one of them. For somebody that played Irish football, it's supposed to knock people about. He never done it.
No.
But he was a good keeper. Aye. But what he did, people would centre half. Big
people in front of him
would just go and win every ball, and Mick would have took Packy out of the way. He would have took everyone in front of him. Mick would have right through him, and that's what centre half does. He loves to go and win the ball.
Yeah,
that's what.
It's good points. No, I like that. Listen, keep your comments coming in. If there's any decent ones, we'll read them out. Listen,
the rest of them are crap.
Rest of them are rubbish. No, I'm just saying. No, any good ones that stand out, we'll read out. But there's a good point there. Listen, on to our guest. Now, this is extraordinary. Yes. Welcome to James Tolan. James, how you doing? Thanks for joining us.
Aye, good to be here. Thanks, Mark.
Listen, for anybody that doesn't know James. Listen, you're better at introducing yourself than I am, but extraordinary story. James, let us know a bit about you.
Aye, thanks very much. Like I said, it was really good to be here. Basically, my name's James Toland. Basically, with lockdown and things like that that's happening, I'm sure everyone's experienced boredom. I decided to do something really cool. Of course, the elephant in the room, I'm born with TAR syndrome, and I was born with shorter arms, so I understood from a very early age that I couldn't play video games like my brother would do, my friends and so on. So I just thought outside the box, and I would try it with my feet. So it all started from a Sega Mega Drive, boys. Straight away, just different, just like 1 or 2 buttons, 4 buttons, simple like that. And then each year it goes harder and harder with the PlayStation, all these new gen consoles and things like that. So basically, life's too short. So I decided to do my own YouTube channel, and I also stream on Twitch. It's www.twitch.tv/Delando77. So check that out when you've got time, and give me a wee follow if you can. So what we've done is, me personally, I've actually just been starting streaming a month and a half ago. So it's going full steam ahead, really. I've got 1,500 followers on Twitch. I'm up to 30 subscribers on Twitch. I'm up to in the high 90s subscribers on my YouTube channel as well. So it's going absolutely brilliant. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it a lot.
Aye, that's great. I mean, I read your article in the newspaper as well, and it's extraordinary stuff. So you said it started with a Sega Mega Drive.
Aye.
Now, I played a Sega Mega Drive. So what age were you when you started?
Probably about 6, Mark.
6 years old. You started playing with your feet.
Aye.
And I mean, that must have taken you a while to master that.
I used to get beat all the time by my brother Matthew, all the time. But now he can't even beat me at FIFA.
Aye, so, that's great. So you're pretty in FIFA. Is FIFA the main game you play? Is that?
Well, I also play FIFA. I play Warzone as well. There's a new Battle Royale game, so I play that as well.
Yeah. Aye, so listen, we'll get if we can get a clip of James up here playing brilliant. FIFA, and I mean, this is incredible stuff. I mean, talk us through this, James. What you're involved in here.
Aye, no worry. Hello guys, Delando77 here. How you all doing? Yes! Get in there, Larson. Get in there. Lovely goal. Lovely stuff. This is why this man is back into the team. Yes, we get the victory. Get in there.
Unbelievable. James, so listen, give us a wee synopsis of that. What happened there?
Basically I was just scoring my hero, Henrik Larsson, King of Kings, getting a wee tap in there, and just playing. And also, you need to remember, guys, 9 times out of 10 these guys are playing with their hands, and I'm sitting there with a cup of coffee, and just sitting playing my feet.
Brilliant.
So
you watched me with all this. I mean, Twitch is something I thought I used to get in my 80s.
Just similar to just like YouTube, but mostly instead of like YouTube's like for podcasts and gaming and music and things like that. Twitch is mostly really for gaming, Frank.
So you James, you get the people just to tune in to watch the games in, just you playing.
Just playing the games, basically just going through the games. Also, like with FIFA Ultimate Team, there's a big focus on like doing squad building challenges, like upgrading your team and things like that. Right. So not only do I show like gameplay, also like tips and tricks, like how to get the best team and not really spend a lot of FIFA points.
Right, cool.
I mean, it's absolutely great. Talk us through how does the setup work with your feet then when you're playing it? What you grabbing the control, because I know what you mean about these new controllers now with the sticks and things like that.
It's tough.
Quite tricky.
It's tricky, but with everything in life, I just go on with it. There's no point moaning about it. You just go on with it and just get right in about it, like a dog eating beetroot, if you like, boys. So what I do is I just use my bed. So like the divots, there's wee divots in the bed. So what I've done in my head is you time it perfectly. So I use the triggers. So the right trigger to like jockey, defending and things like that. The left trigger to maybe do your wee finesse shot, which is tough when you're playing with your feet. But also as well, I just changed the run button to R1. So I just do it all with the bed, just timing and things like that. And my toes can do the R1 buttons and things like that. I'm quite nimble, if you like, that way.
Magic. I mean, listen, the Twitch thing and stuff and YouTubers is taking over the world. Because my wee boys who haven't got much interest in football, but I ask them what they want to be, and that's what they want to be. They want to be a YouTuber or a gamer. My wee boy's got this Twitch. I don't know how to work really, but
big money as well.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Is there an end game to this? Can you make as a revenue to be made from this, and how does that come about?
100%. It just really comes down to your viewer base, really, how you can increase that. Also with subscriptions to the Twitch channel and on YouTube, like how many views you would get and so forth. So I really want the sky's the limit with this. I don't want to just I don't know if this sounds bad, but I don't want to just take part. I want to go up there. Like, Ninja, for example. Exactly. Like Ninja's a very, very famous Twitch streamer. And he streams a game called Fortnite. And
I know that game.
Very popular, that game. So he's getting millions and millions of subscribers, so that's what I want to be.
Brilliant. And listen, you're a big Celtic fan. We just caught a glimpse of you in your room there with Henrik Larsson's talk behind you. Big Celtic fan. I mean, who's your at this moment in time? Well, who's your favourite for the squad just now, and who's your I think we know who your favourite all time is, but just confirm.
For the squad now, it has to be Scott Brown, doesn't it? He's a warrior. That's what I would say. He's a complete warrior. So I would probably say Scott Brown or Edward. But my heroes was Henrik Larsson. I loved Henrik Larsson, absolutely brilliant. But also I really like Didi Ragat, by the way.
Didi Ragat?
I rated him highly. I really liked him.
Great right back.
The second best right back of the 2000s. Didi was.
Wee bit pacey.
I can't believe he done the same. We're from the same area. He's from Cumbernauld as well. I put you in the spot there.
Because I grew up with you playing like understanding and things like that. I grew up with that, do you know what I mean?
That was a great era. Brilliant.
I mind I was at a game when Jan Venegura Hesselin scored the last minute against Rangers. The glasses went 4 rows down, do you know what I mean?
Is that right?
Brilliant.
Is that, and see when you're playing that at FIFA, is a Celtic you play with, or have you got a combined team?
My Celtic badges, I can choose my badge that I want, so it's always going to be Celtic, but I like to play in a different strip each week, so it's neutral.
There's a couple of my heroes there, Socrates and all that. They were
the Yuri there.
I loved all them, the Brazilians. They were superb. I mean, the guy, the doctor, did 40 fags a day, and he used to just walk off at half time, have a cigarette and come back on. You're like, oh my God. And it was all about quality, wasn't it? They boys
82 World Cup.
That was the best team never to win the World Cup, wasn't it?
I wish we could have hooked up. What is it you play, Xbox or PlayStation?
PlayStation.
Hooked up to PlayStation, seen Frank taking that on. Said you must have been into the Mega Drive when you were younger, when the first FIFA came out.
I had the Mega Drive, I had PlayStation.
PlayStation.
I liked the football games and the golf games.
Aye.
I remember
My
the
ki- my
first
kids
FIFA
now.
when it came out in the Mega Drive. Did you play that?
what was it? Aye.
94, I think it was.
Aye.
Unbelievable. Loved it. But listen, well, look, thanks very much for joining us.
Aye,
If
thanks
anybody
for being
wants to give you a follow, I know you plugged it earlier on.
Aye, please
Give us a
guys,
shout.
if you want to give me a follow on www.twitch.tv/Talando77, and all my socials are Talando77, and my YouTube is as well, guys.
Brilliant. Extraordinary stuff. Listen,
Yeah,
go on and have a look because
Yeah.
it's something
Different
special to
class.
watch.
Well done.
Wish you all the best. Hope you
Thank you.
scoot up those rankings, get to the top. Now,
Thank you.
on to our next point. You'll enjoy this one. Stick about for this. Christmas parties. Our favourite Christmas parties, guys. Now, it's that time of year, but unfortunately for us, we can't go it. But we've still got memories of Christmas parties, I'm sure, that'll stay with us for all the time. Frank, we'll leave you to last because you've probably got a few that can top me.
I'm on here with Frank McAvenny talking about Christmas parties. How can I beat him? How can I possibly
He's
beat
going
him?
to have a few. What's your memory, Sid? Listen, first of all, what did it bring? Because look, if we're talking about Celtic, we were chatting about a few weeks ago that the team looks disjointed and it looks like there's maybe not the same camaraderie as previous years. Don't know if that's the virus or different nationalities. But do you think Christmas parties brought everybody together?
I think it did. I think going back to the year '98 when we won it, Harold came in towards the Christmas period, and that was one of his first nights out with us. And I think we were fancy dress. I think it was pop stars or something.
Everyone
And you could just see him, you know, chartered accountant coming from Rosenborg, looking about. Guys are dressed as the Beatles and all sorts. So I think it was always a big one on the calendar for the boys socially.
it was always fancy dress, wasn't it?
Aye, always fancy dress. But the one that sticks in my mind, and I think you might have been on it, you were back at the club and Stuart Slater get the jail.
Aye. Aye.
That sounds a good one already.
So we
Right,
were-
tell us more.
No, we were just up the town and we were the young boys, we were tagging on. You know, I don't even think
Hold
you
on, were you at the club with him?
Aye,
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 I was there.
briefly.
I didn't know that.
Aye, briefly.
Tom well.
So we were just tagging on. You know, we probably weren't even out with them. We were just meeting up with them later on, and we were trying to get into.
That was I just came after that.
Where
I
were we
just came
trying to get
after
into? It's the one up
It was Vicky's.
Vicky's. Try to get into Vicky's, right? Try to jump on the coattails of somebody. So I've thought, right, I'll go on to Stuart Slater. He'll get me in. He ended up getting a knockback for the place, jailed. Thankfully, I wasn't attached to that one, but that's the one that sticks in my head. Try to get in there,
Wish you kept him in there.
but he was dressed as it was like a jailbird. He had all the jail.
Did he?
That was what he was dressed as, and he ended up getting arrested.
Perfect attire, straight in.
Apparently, he was shouting at the doorman. He says,
that what it was?
I'll get ICF and all that. The boys for London.
Oh, no, he wasn't.
Aye, he was
No,
good
it's
at that.
brilliant
He was
when you
really-
see these
What
boys
I
shouting
remember
at
him though, he
Dorman.
was really quiet. It was
Oh,
as
oh,
if
he
a
would've
few
said-
beers in him, and then he was.
But when I came back, Liam said to me, "She's keeping an eye on Chopper. He's called Chopper because he's he
Go ahead.
took some do it once and we like,
Oh, thank goodness.
Character.
Thought it was for different
No,
reasons.
No, it wasn't that. It was. No, but Liam said to me, "Keep an eye on him." I says, "Why?" He says, "He's hitting the booze." And I'm like, "What?"
Liam told you to keep an eye on him.
That's me to keep an eye on him.
That's
I'm
where
like,
Liam's went
you know,
wrong.
That's like putting me in charge of a brothel or something. But no, it's just no. They don't go together. Asking me to look after somebody, you know.
Oh, I knew this segment was going to be good. The Christmas party. Oh, man. But, I mean, they're great for getting the boys, like you say, the foreign boys together. And that, outstanding.
Some great memories. That was the one that stuck. I think that might have been my first. And you're up the town with the senior boys, and as I say, you're just jumping on the coattails. Can I get into this pub? Can I get into that nightclub? Fortunately, I picked the wrong guy in Stuart Slater.
Stuart
Get the jail.
Slater. Get the jail.
We had a great one at Celtic as well. We all dressed up, fancy dress, and we were in a restaurant, we were eating. We had to pay for everybody's dinner because Tommy started singing. Tommy Burns TV, he got up and he's Mac and I asked him to start singing. And everybody's like, we all sung, we all joined in and all that. So we had to pay for everyone's dinner because it was characters, all the boys on tables and all that. It was brilliant, it was good fun. And then we decided to go to a nightclub. But we were down the bottom of the town. And we all used to train in twos, you know, you go in twos, two boys at the front. So we go to that, Mark McGee and Big Roy at the front, and we're on twos running through the town, right? It was but the amount of people you're like,
And they must have been like, that's the Celtic
there's
team.
about 18 boys on fancy dress.
But all year running down the
Chris
town.
Morris is he's got the twinkles on his hair. He's got all these hanging in his hair. He's like one of the I can't remember who it was. It was one Bo Peep or someone.
Aye.
He was dressed as unbelievable.
The fancy dress is magic. See, when you sit in the bigger the bigger the club you go, the more expensive the costumes get. So that was at Dundee United. They were all shocking, homemade stuff. Then by the time you get to Celtic, though. But I remember, before I came to Celtic, they told me I came to Celtic in January, but the Christmas night out just before, Nakamura, who didn't drink, model professional, and that, took it for a meal, and somebody gave him a snooze. You know, stuck it up his gum. Apparently, had to get carted out of there. Couldn't walk after it. My best one was 2011 maybe. We went to London for a couple of years on the bounce. We chartered the plane and went down there and had usual shenanigans. And we went to a nightclub, but then the nightclub shut, and we went to an after club. And I thought, this is dodgy, this. And we went in this wee alley in London, you'll probably know it well, Frank, and we went in, and it just opened up into this like Las Vegas kind of club. So, you know, show on the stage, and it was mobbed. Next minute, we're in the VIP area, and we've got it all ourselves, and it was great. Next minute, who comes in? Will I Am. It was the X Factor finals, and he was a judge, and he came straight through there and was drinkless, just sitting drinkless. I've got photos on my phone. And then the Sunday we were there again, went to another club, Whiskey Mist, into the VIP area, and we're in there with the Saturdays.
To me every weekend.
I see. I know that's your life.
Just a normal Saturday night out for Macca.
I know. Unbelievable. That was your life. Aye.
I know. Well, I was.
But honestly, some of the Christmas nights, the best thing, you see the buzz you used to get the day after, when you're hungover and you're down at breakfast with a couple of the boys and hearing the stories. And one time, Anthony Stokes, I don't know, I think this might have been the paper. Anthony Stokes got a taxi home from London. From London, he got a taxi to Edinburgh. He couldn't get a flight home. Brilliant. And we're coming in. It must have been about six in the evening. We're coming in to get changed into our party clothes, and Stokes is on the way with his suitcase. Where are you going? Getting a taxi, black cab. Jumped in it, got a taxi all the way back to Edinburgh. Had enough. Aye. These boys go to some length to get out at the second day session, but I can miss the Christmas nights out. But good stories there. Right, on to football again. We'll finish with our predictions, and you can let us know your prediction as well, James, for Ross County and Saturday's away one at Hamilton Accies, because it's a tough one away to Hamilton Accies. I know they've not been the best of form, but still a tough one. So, Sid, what do you think, Ross County tomorrow?
I think Celtic will get the 3 points, and if you're wanting a result, I'll go 3-0 Celtic.
3-0 Celtic. Frank?
No, 2-0. I'll go 2.
2-0, James?
I think 1-2.
3-1.
3-1. Well, 3-1, you think Ross County might score. Well, here's a point just coming in. Christopher Patterson says, what I do not understand is how we cannot find a solution to defensive problems. If we continue to play like that in defence, the league will be over before the Derby game. This is no joke. Celtic are so vulnerable. It's frightening.
That's what we've been talking about, isn't it?
It's the truth.
We've been talking about that.
It's the truth. It is strange. Just, I know we're doing prediction, but it's strange that Neil is changing so much, and every player that comes in that back 4, back 5, back 3 all make the same mistakes.
I keep
strange.
Who's working on them? I just don't see any. I know I keep saying it. It's just somebody's got to work in the defence. Now, I would say Lenny knows about as much as defending as what I do. So you're talking
get somebody else
get
in.
somebody in.
Right,
you know?
on to Saturday's game. I think we'll comfortably beat Ross County tomorrow. On to Saturday's game, Hamilton Accies away, Boxing Day.
That's a good one.
A few hangovers on Boxing Day.
Yeah,
or do you think it'll be plain sailing?
Don't think it will be plain sailing. The plastic pitch, it never really is it?
Nah, not really.
But again, I must win, and I'll go 2-0 Celtic.
2-0 Celtic.
It's a hard one. I'll tell you why. Because Hamilton have stopped playing the fancy football that they try to play under Ricey, and they've been back to being difficult to beat. They've been back to being right in your faces. Yeah. So I think it's going to be difficult for Celtic, but I do think they'll win. But it's going to be tighter than that. I would say 1-0.
1-0. All right, James.
I would agree with Frank. 1-0.
1-0. Listen, take that. Listen, the important thing is maximum points up until January the 2nd. Then you get 3 points at Ibrox. Then it is well and truly game on. That's us, guys. Been a great show. Loved it. Thanks for listening to the show. Thanks again to our sponsors, First Star Legends Gin, Social Recluse and First Class Transfers. Thanks to Simon Donnelly, Frank McAvenny, James Tolan. Thanks for joining us, and wish you all the best.
Good luck, James.
Thanks for everybody for listening, and it's Christmas on Friday, so everybody have a good Christmas, and we'll see you again next week.